ultimately finish off the year very strong and still remain in your soft feminine energy and be very happy coming into 2026. Oh, good morning. I didn't see you there. I'm gonna go put him down so he can go on about his morning. Let's get right into it. Alright, sexy mamacitas, welcome back to my channel. But if you're new to my channel, welcome to my channel. My name is Morgan Valdez. And yeah, welcome to the Morgan Diaries. Today we're getting down into the nitty-gritty as it pertains to finishing the fourth quarter strong without burning out. And why I believe fall is actually the real new year. If you're feeling like this year kind of flew by and you're a little bit behind, baby, this video is your reset button, okay? Consider it done. Let's talk about how the fall season is actually where the soft life and the successful life finally meet up and have a cup of coffee. Because we are not waiting until January to become that girl. We're ending this year very strong and stepping into new blessings at the same time. Honestly, I did a video very similar to this last year. It's literally on my page. I'll insert it here. Called The Reset. But I was also in a very different stage in my life then than I am even now, which is so crazy to think about. Last year, I had literally just been fired. Yep, you heard that right. Fired from my job. Well, it was a combination. It was a firing / a quitting. And I was having like the hardest time with my manager, which was a very complex story given the fact that it was an African-American woman who was my manager, and she was just, actually, we can actually save that for a whole other video because I'm still traumatized by it. And I'm still hurt by it because of the stereotype that Black women in the workplace as managers or bosses often have a negative stereotype attached to them. Again, that's a different story. But yes, this video is going to be focusing on how you can ultimately finish off the year very strong and still remain in your soft feminine energy and be very happy coming into 2026. And I just wanted this to be a little chit chat and coffee with the girl this morning on this nice Sunday morning. And yeah, so let's get right into it. Can y'all hear it? Dior's doing that licky thing. Dior. So the first rule of thumb I want to touch base on in regards to ending 2025 off strong is making sure that you have a soft life. And yes, I hate the cliche statement, soft life this and soft life that. You scroll on TikTok, it's nothing but soft life. But just follow me. Just see this video through. Having the soft life you always wanted, but still handling your business is always and should always be your number one priority. So let's clear this up. To me, soft life absolutely does not mean lazy life, does not mean boring life, does not mean stale and like monochromatic life. To me, soft life means emotional luxury, aligned effort, and it means that I can light my candle, drink my tea, journal, whatever, and still have the time to make sure I'm answering work emails, still have the time to make sure I'm getting my graphic design stuff done for my business, for Mocha Made, still have the time to make sure I'm preparing well enough for the Pink Connection next podcast episode, etc., and still have the time to still hang out with my family. A lot of the time, we don't realize how much of a luxury our time is and how much of a luxury good mental health is too. So you can't keep going and not making time for things that bring you peace or happiness, because you're going to accrue all of these feelings of ultimate burnout, and we're trying to avoid that. Okay, so I really feel like I have a little bit of pointers. I'm not a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a doctor or anything in that field, but these are just some tips I do to kind of maintain my soft life and make sure that I'm still giving myself relaxation time and nursing myself back to good health, even in the midst of being busy and still trying to pursue my dreams and still handle my business. The way that I really structure my days is by utilizing my calendar. There's so many different apps that you can use to make sure that you're making time for your you time as well as handling your business time. So I use my Outlook calendar specifically. I know that's pretty basic. There's a bunch of apps that you can use to do the same, but Outlook is just the best for me because it's connected to my email. And when I get calendar invitations for things, they automatically populate onto my Outlook account, right? So I like to schedule time for me to make sure I read before I go to bed. I'm really trying my hardest not to be on my phone and doom scroll until I knock out, because I feel that that actually really negatively impacts my sleep. And I just feel like, I don't know, I have this mental thing where I feel more put together when I'm like making time for the things I actually like to do and separating myself from social media. It gives me less time for me to doom scroll and less time for me to overthink about things, less time for me to compare my life or where I want to be, where I should be, blah, 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 and more time to just focus in on someone else's story that I'm reading in a book that's really interesting. Also, do you hear Dior just walking around? As I was saying, less time to compare myself and do negative things and overthink about negative things. I feel like, honestly, it's inevitable for us to just think about the worst outcome possible. But just like we can think about the worst outcome possible, we can also think about the best outcome possible. So I really want us to prioritize soft life, but still handling business mentalities, because I feel like that will ultimately push us to our desired goal of really making sure we're taking care of our mental health, but also striving and achieving the goals that we want to check off of our list before 2025 ends, okay? Right before I normally pray and go to bed, because I pray every night. I don't know if you guys are religious, but I am. I'm spiritual and I'm religious, and I make sure I pray. Normally, I really try to pray with my boyfriend on the phone before we go to bed. It's something we've implemented in the last couple of months that we find very beautiful, and something that we do together to kind of just like strengthen our connection, but also strengthen our blessings and our family's blessings together. But that's a different video, and we're not talking about that man right now. But yes, I think I told you guys this in my last reset video last October, but my dad actually got me, my mom, and him these gratitude journals. This one is really old. It's so old that you can't even see that it says the 5-minute journal on here. But yes, I literally filled this one up. This one was pink, and I loved it. Hold on, if I could, I feel like a teacher. Yeah, your girl filled. Well, I had some blank ones, but never mind that. I literally filled everything else up though, and yeah, I was so proud of myself when I completed it, because it just showed me that I can remain consistent at something, and that, I don't know, it felt so good to just also look back at all of the things that God has blessed me with, and my life has been blessed with. You know, a lot of the time we are continuously looking at the negative, and I feel like looking at the positive, looking back at your days, on the things that you are proud of and on the things that you feel like you could have possibly done better, is the best way to stay in gratitude, which is the best way to also stay in your soft life. So now that I finished that book, I ultimately, recently in the last couple of, well, let's see when I got this one. I got this one at the end of August. I got this one, I started in writing in this one on August 7th. And I've been very consistent all the way up until October 10th. And yeah, so this is my new gratitude journal. It literally takes you 5 minutes to fill out. You do it in the morning and you do it at night. In the morning, you're literally just like saying you're saying 3 things you're thankful for, 3 things that you can do to make your day a great day, and then 1 affirmation. And then also at the end of your day, I normally do it, like I said, right before I pray. I just say 3 things it's like, I think it asks you 3 highlights of your day. And I just say my 3 highlights of my day. And then on the bottom of this one, which is a little different from the previous one, it asks you, what could you have done to make your day a little better? So it just it forces you to sit down, analyze your day, lock in, and really be like, you know what? I didn't like this part about my day. Just because I didn't like this part about my day, I'm going to make sure tomorrow I start my day on a better trajectory to make sure I have a better outcome toward the end of the day. So honestly, I feel like this is a key step in me remaining in my femininity, me remaining in my soft life, and kind of just like, you know what, like keeping score of what I'm doing and tracking my accomplishments. I don't know, for some people it might apply a little bit too much pressure for them, but to me, it helps me remain in gratitude. And yeah, and also, again, like I said, still getting stuff done, because if I didn't complete I was supposed to complete today, I'm writing that on the things I could have done better, and I'm making sure I apply that the next day and make sure I get it done. Sometimes there's days where it's like, it's the same thing that I wish I could have done better, and I just keep putting it there until I finally feel like I did it the best I possibly could. So step 2, I feel that is very important in maintaining and making sure that you push yourself to achieve the best end of your fourth quarter, is considering fall as the real new year instead of January. So honestly, I've talked about this before. I think I even briefly touched on this at the beginning of this video, but I feel that fall is honestly the real reset. January is definitely cute, but fall is the real reset, okay? The air changes, the energy shifts, the vibes are giving fresh start. Like, I just can't explain it. When you're seeing literally nature transitioning, I feel like that's your mirror into your life. Okay, it's like nature literally is saying it's time to start new. It's start to clip the dead ends. It's start to, like, change up your wardrobe, change the colors, change how you're feeling, because the trees are changing, the leaves are changing, the grass is changing, etc., etc., etc. Okay, you get what I'm saying? Like, it just screams new routines. It just screams new mindset. It just screams new standards. So I feel like, honestly, just go with it. I feel like nature should be your alarm clock to be like, you know what? I've been wanting to do this. I'm going to try this different way of doing what I've already been doing. You know what I mean? So October, fall in general is like not necessarily a time to start something new, but definitely a time to reform or tweak things that you're already doing. I feel like starting something new can make you feel very overwhelmed. It can be very overwhelming given the fact that the year is almost done. We're in the 10th month. We have about 2 months left of the year, and it's like, I don't really have enough time to start this year-long project, and we're about to end of the fourth quarter. Instead, look at what you're already doing. Write down what you're already doing. Write down what you're proud of doing, and then write down ways that you can improve those things over the next couple of months that we have of this year. Honestly, setting deadlines already is like, can add anxiety to what you're doing. But if you're adamant in doing so, that is a way to make sure that you make some major progress before your quote unquote time has run out. Point number 3 kind of coincides with that. But honestly, learning how to reflect on what you've already done throughout the year, as we're concluding the year very soon. We're not quite there, but as we start to begin to conclude the year, start trying to reflect on the year, but you need to do this without putting shame on yourself. Remove shame from the equation. I know reflecting and reflection in general can be very triggering, because immediately you think, I didn't do enough, I could have done this, I should have done this. Stop those thoughts immediately. Ask yourself better questions like, what did I work on? What have I outgrown? What did this year teach me? What can I apply from this year to next year? Shift your mindset into a growth over perfection type of ideology rather than losses over wins or losses over lessons. You want to make sure lessons is definitely at the beginning of the equation instead of losses. So that's just how I feel. So definitely reflection of the year without shame is definitely something that you should implement to make sure that you're ending the year as strong as possible. So let's kind of like backtrack. It also coincides with the previous things I've told you. So I mentioned briefly that I think that setting goals is kind of not what you should be doing. I mean, you should be setting goals for sure, but setting like absurd goals that you know are going to take you some time to achieve, it's just not fathomable right now, especially if you're trying to do this stuff before the year concludes. So I would say set aligned goals, not stress goals. So we are absolutely done with goals that just look good on paper. No more hustle till you cry goals, okay? We're chasing aligned goals. What feels purposeful, peaceful, and profitable goals. Small, consistent wins beat burnt out every single time type of goals. So, like I said, looking at the goals you've already set, altering them the best way possible to make sure that you're able to achieve wins within those goals before the year concludes. I'm a vision board person. I don't know if you guys are, but I'm definitely a vision board person. And I feel like we should start doing vision board parties, not just like right before New Year's, not at the end of December. By that time, it's like, girl, like you late. Maybe we should start doing vision board parties, or just having more vision board quality time, or whatever the case may be, in October, maybe end of September. Maybe that can be like your end of the summer type of activity. Let's start preparing for, these next couple of months. And so we can just segue right into the new year with the things that we're already starting to work on, the goals we're already starting to accomplish, and just, we're already getting the ball going. So I feel that honestly, that is something that you can implement. Visualizing your goals, putting them down on paper, and then just tweaking them along the way is something really important. I feel that you can implement small things you can implement to make sure that you're maximizing your time. So if you are a vision board person, you should already have your vision board from last year. I think now is the perfect time to go look at it and reflect on it and say, well, how much did I accomplish? Without shame, how much did I accomplish, and how can I make sure I accomplished a little bit more before the year concludes? So step number 5, I think we can implement to make sure that we're ending the year strong, is implementing a safe, security way of protecting your energy. So to finish strong, I personally feel you must protect your peace. Not everyone should have access to you. These times are crucial. These are critical times. These are times where you feel like you need to preserve yourself. Do that. If you need to set boundaries, do that. If you need to start saying no more, do that. If you need to leave that stressful group chat, do that. Muting notifications, unfollowing this person, just do it. Whatever you feel like you need to do to protect yourself, to protect your energy, because you need to use all of the energy that you have as the year concludes into making sure you get things done and making sure those goals are getting checked off of that list. Do it. If it drains you, it cannot go into fourth quarter with you. I just don't feel like remove the space for it. Don't even leave room or wiggle room. Don't even let them slide. Don't let nothing slide fourth quarter, okay? If it's stressing you out, if it's giving you anxiety when you're thinking about it, learn to step away from it, protect your energy, and prioritize yourself. You cannot receive blessings in the midst of chaos. It's just not going to work that way. And again, you need all of your energy not geared toward negative things, but geared toward positive things, so more positive things can be willed toward you, and you can end this year positively and start the new year off on a great foot. I think this is also really important, just as important as everything else that I've mentioned, but I feel like it falls to the wayside when we're trying to achieve stuff. It often just isn't prioritized as much. Romanticize the season, okay? I know we love summer. I know we even love winter, Christmas, New Year's, all of that stuff goes on. But fall is actually so beautiful. I live in the Hudson Valley, and there's so much stuff that you can do up here around this time. The leaves, this fall foliage absolutely look gorgeous, okay? So I just feel like, get outside. This is like your last amount of time that you can really get outside without being too cold. Go apple picking, go pumpkin picking, go on a hayride, go to a haunted house, go to Fright Fest, whatever. Do something. Just enjoy the season, romanticize this portion of your life that you are now entering, and, really enjoy what you're doing. I feel like in my last video, I took you guys with me to go fall shopping. That is something I absolutely love to do. Like the dopamine in my brain that is triggered when I'm doing pumpkin spice activities is like no other. I don't know. I know there's a lot of pumpkin spice haters out there, but get that Scrooge and the Grinch out of view. Fall fashion is tea too. Get you them new Uggs, girl. Get you them new boots. Light that cinnamon apple candle. Buy that cozy blanket. Go on solo dates. I just feel like it's a vibe. I know we're still kind of sort of boycotting Target, but there's so many other stores. There's Hobby Lobby, there's Home Goods, there's Marshalls, there's TJ Maxx. Just go enjoy the season. Even if it's just taking a walk outside and just literally going to the park and enjoying the fall foliage. Learning to romanticize exactly where you are in life is another way to really just will good and positive things towards you. And you need to be able to will good and positive things towards you to be able to end this year off strongly. And you honestly need these more dilly-dally, low-key activities after probably having a turned-up, fun summer. It's just a time to kind of decompress and really take in the beauty of life. Oh my gosh, guys, we're at point number 7 already.
Hold on.
Cheers to that. All right, my last point is this, and this alone. And if you didn't take anything else from this video, please take this. Finish the year as that girl. This is not about ending the year tired, okay? This is about ending the year in alignment. Step into the identity of the woman you want to be. Show up as her right now. Why would we wait till January to start being the woman we want to be when we can be the woman we want to be today? The version of you that's disciplined, glowing, and blessed, become here before the year ends, babes. And you can do all of that by applying all of the points that I gave you. I know this was a very light video. I wasn't trying to get on that ass when it comes to the things I think you guys should implement in regards to making sure you end quarter number 4 very strongly. But these are just tips and points that I'm trying to apply to my life. And I feel like what better thing to do, sorry, I'm losing the trail of thought. What better thing to do is to use you guys as my accountability partner and I be your accountability partner. Help me, help you, help me to help you. Okay, that's all I'm saying. So again, I absolutely love fall. Fall is like my #1 season. Sorry, summer, even though I'm a summer baby, fall is my season. And I just think we can utilize fall in a different way than we've ever done it before. So yes, this fall, we're releasing what doesn't serve us, protecting our peace, setting aligned goals, receiving our blessings, and we are not waiting until 2026. We are finishing the year strong and soft. If you're ready to step into that energy, drop something in the comments below. Talk to me. Give me some of your fall feedback to implement different things to make sure that you're ending off your 4th quarter as strong as possible. All right? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. Share this video with a girl you think that might need a reminder that, babe, we're in 4th quarter, lock in. And honestly, quarter number 4 might just be her best chapter. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.